Children, the time of ascension has arrived. Oh, for the love of God, haven't any of you ever been in a cult before?
Ladies and gentlemen, he's done it again.
You can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it!
Oh yes he can. He can absolutely keep getting away with it. He's Gendy Mother First Minute of the Video Tartakovsky. Every time this guy's got his hands on something, it's bound to be incredible. Dexter's Lab? He cooked. Samurai Jack? He really cooked. Symbionic Titan? Boy, he cooked that. Hotel Transylvania? That wasn't him. No, I don't care what anyone says. That was Sony, not him. Primal? Oh, you better believe he cooked. And now, he's back in the kitchen again, the mad lad. Only this time, this particular dish took nearly 20 years to make. But it's finally here. And even though only 2 episodes are out at the time of this video, it's already looking like a mighty feast, fit for a king. This was Gendy's passion project for almost 20 years. After he left Cartoon Network, studios didn't want to work with him for some reason, I don't know. Sure, he made one of the most iconic and revolutionary animated TV shows of all time, but yeah, why would they want to work with him? Who knows? I guess my only theory on why would be because that Unicorn Warriors Eternal is a very weird concept for a TV show. The story is about 3 ancient warriors, an elf with a magic sword named Edred, a cosmic monk by the name of Sing, and a sorceress by the name of Melinda, all team up to face this unspecified evil over the course of time. As they die, their souls will get reincarnated into a new body thanks to a steampunk robot by the name of Copernicus. And yeah, from that description, it does sound bizarre. Awesome, but bizarre. And as we've seen over the past decade or so, we see that original ideas are now often being looked over for reboots, reimaginings, and even live-action remakes. Why waste money on a completely new idea that might not work when you can just half-ass what already did work? It's foolproof! Everyone would like that! As a matter of fact, Unicorn was actually almost completely destroyed last year in that whole Warner Brothers Discovery debacle. Imagine spending nearly 20 years trying to make a show, finally getting the green light from HBO Max, and then just months before its release, your show is completely tanked and destroyed, all so it can be labeled as a tax write-off. That whole thing was an utter shit show, and never before has karma looked this good. Serves you right, David Slackoff. But fortunately, Unicorn somehow survived, and it's finally here today. And let me just say, even though it's only got 2 episodes out so far at the time of this video, please watch the show. It is so freaking interesting. For starters, it is a very weird concept for a show, but it's also very simple. One thing I've always loved with Gendy's storytelling was just how imaginative and limitless that his story got. In the same universe as aliens and robots, you also had magic demons and zombies and all that cool shit. You never knew just what you were gonna get in each new episode. It was so cool and fun. And now we've got elves, cosmic monks, and a sorceress just fucking around in a steampunk-inspired 1890s London. Dude, that is just such an imaginative premise. I've never seen anything like it before, even from Gendy. And the way they execute these ideas are pretty imaginative too. Sure, we've seen reincarnation in animation before, but this show has a steampunk robot shoot the soul out of a unicorn symbol that it has in its gears. That is so creative and cool. Like, how do you even get an idea like that? It's so imaginative. And dude, do I even need to talk about the animation? You're looking at it. It looks pretty damn good. This is the same animation studio who made Primal, by the way. It's a studio in France called Studio La Cachette? I think I said that right, but yeah, you know these are talented people. But what really stands out about the show is its art style. You've probably noticed just how distinct the show looks and how different it is from, well, just about anything. It doesn't look at all like The Owl House or Kid Cosmic or even Gendy's other works like Primal. It really has a classic cartoon vibe to it, and not like Looney Tunes or Scooby-Doo classic, I mean classic. Gendy stated that he wanted to experiment with the show and move away from his gritty, straight-edge style that was in Samurai, Symbionic, and Primal. For this show, he took inspiration from the works of Max Fleischer, the creator of Popeye and Betty Boop, and Osamu Tezuka, the creator of Astro Boy. And yeah, you can definitely see the inspirations in some of these shots. Gendy said that his intention with this style was to challenge challenge the stereotype that if a show's art style is quote-unquote too cartoony, then it's not to be taken as seriously as other art styles. There's a dirty word in animation of being too cartoony. They say that you can't feel emotion if it looks too goofy. And that's bullshit. And so that's what I really wanted to do, is have this very cartoony thing, but the emotions are real. And the drama really is a soap opera almost. It's so heightened. And frankly, I really dig it. It looks so unique and different from anything I've ever seen. The background characters just pop so distinctly. Even if they're only in the shot for like a few seconds, you're still gonna remember what they look like later. And that steampunk aesthetic again. My favorite! Sure, it's not a new setting or anything, but this is just one of those settings that never gets old. The show actually takes its time to show us the city of London and all of the cool steampunk contraptions that fill it. The cars, the boats, the blimps, the buildings. It's really nice to have a show that actually takes its time to actually let the audience feel like they're really there. The world just feels so vibrant and alive because of it.
Every myth you humans have is caused by a little of our world leaking into yours. Griffins, vampires, giraffes.
Giraffes?
Oh yeah, we banished those guys. A bunch of freaks.
Since we're only 2 episodes in, it's kind of hard to talk about the characters since we haven't seen much of them yet. Edred just seems like the typical knight, nothing that special yet.
Melinda!
I've heard people complain that it's hard to get invested in Emma since we later... What the fuck? I've heard people complain that it's hard to get invested in Emma since we literally start her story on her wedding day, and it's supposed to be sad when she becomes Melinda and rejects her parents and her fiance, but personally, I think that's the point actually. Emma's completely in the dark and for some reason still retains some of her memories of being Emma. It's been shown that this has never happened before. Once their souls enter a new host, the new host, for all we know, ceases to exist? Or maybe they just become their true selves? I'm not sure how it works exactly. Maybe it'll be explained more later, but if it's the former, then that's honestly kind of fucked up. Imagine having a whole life of memories and family, only for it to just be completely wiped away in an instant. You didn't die, you're just reborn as someone entirely new. And while Melinda, Singh, and Edred remember who they are, the family of the original host will understandably want their family member back. But back to my point, I think introducing us to Emma and not giving much context to her life before she becomes Melinda is actually a smart idea. Since she's not only new to the whole being Melinda thing, but pretty much all of it, she serves as a window to the audience to the world of Unicorn. Whenever she learns something new, we learn something new as well. And since she doesn't remember who her family and fiance was, that just means we'll have to learn about it too. Like I said earlier, we're only 2 episodes in, and it's implied that we're gonna get flashbacks and things that pertain to Emma and who she was before she became Melinda. It actually has me pretty excited to see just who she was. The mystery of who Emma is just as enticing as what the evil fox lady is. And then there's Alfie. Oh my god, I love this kid. He's just so freaking goofy, I love him. Because he's a kid, the cosmic power is said to be too much for him, and as a result, he's just shit-faced the entire time and nobody knows what to make of it. There are so many great expressions in this show that are instantly iconic. Oh, look at how tiny Emma is. Oh my god, I want to buy a plushie of her. This one's my personal favorite right here. This is the face I make when I make unnecessary Nazi jokes in my videos.
And the Nazis, in my view, were thugs that shook people down, did a lot of really bad things.
But they did good things too. We're gonna stop dissing the Nazis all the time.
You know what? I think Kanye might actually have a point right there. I mean, think about it. A Nazi did kill Hitler after all. So they can't be all bad. I also like how despite the show being only rated TV PG, it still feels definitively like an adult animated cartoon. It doesn't need a bunch of swearing and bloody gore to show that. It's a show that just happens to have a mature tone, take itself seriously, and wants to be taken seriously. Unlike some other quote-unquote adult cartoons. As I said in the beginning, there's only 2 episodes out right now, so there's not a whole lot to say right now. But I am honestly begging you guys, please watch the show wherever you can. It's on HBO Max and it airs on Adult Swim. If you guys are sick of live action remakes and reboots and shit, then support cool, original ideas like this one. So far, it's got me wildly immersed. It's just such an inventive, imaginative, and really fun show so far. but it's Genndy Tartakovsky, so that doesn't surprise me at all by the end of the day. The first episode of the show is actually free to watch here on YouTube, so check it out there. For now, though, we'll have to wait and see what happens next, but I got a good feeling about this one. Gorgeous, creative, and funny. Unicorns Warriors Eternal just looks fucking awesome. Go watch it already, will ya?